Good afternoon, or morning, depending on when you're watching this. My name's Alex Rowland, and I'm a micro provider, and I work with people with learning disabilities. I run a little company called YourITnow, it as in IT, and I specialise in providing training and help for people with learning disabilities, especially around technology and things like Facebook, the internet, keeping them safe, but enabling them to have access to that amazing world that you're part of right now because you're watching this. So, last time I talked a little bit about being a micro provider and what is a micro provider, and just to recap, it's basically me. It's basically one person or a few people, small company working together and providing a care service. So we're very much now in a time when there's lots of changes going on within big care organisations, and the advantage of being a micro provider is being able to be small, very flexible, and just being able to deliver that service 100% focused on your client. So, as I said last time, today I'm going to talk a little bit more about the actual mechanics of becoming a micro provider and what you've got to do to enable that. So, one of the first things you're going to want to do is DBS, which stands for Disclosure Barring Service. Used to be called CRB, now called DBS. So, what you do, that basically will do a little search and just ensure that you've not been a naughty boy or girl, and you can use it as proof to show your clients that you've had that check done, and it gives you that little bit of basically, and your clients a little bit of security. That's DBS. Right. The next thing you're going to need is a UTR. What's a UTR, Alex? Well, I'm glad you asked me that. It stands for Unique Tax Reference Number, and basically this is what you use to prove that you are self-employed. So you will contact the good old Inland Revenue, you'll inform them that you're going to be self-employed, and they will give you a unique tax reference number, and this needs to go on your invoices. So when you invoice a client, you need to have this on the bottom. It just, as I say, it's just proof that you are self-employed. Great, okay. The next thing you're going to need is transport insurance. You must notify your car insurer that you are going to be using it for business purposes. If you don't, and you have an accident and you haven't notified them, potentially you won't be insured, and neither will your clients. And if you had an accident and your clients have been in the car, we can only imagine what trouble that could cause you and them as well. So very, very important. Now I'm talking about car insurance. I live in a very rural part of the country. I live in Somerset, and where we live, realistically, I need a car to provide a service to my clients. Obviously, if you're in a bigger city, if you're in somewhere like Bristol, you can quite happily probably get by with public transport. But you are still going to need a type of insurance, and I'm going to mention that in a second. So, very important, get your car insurance. Incidentally, when I notified my insurance company that I was going to be using it for business, there actually wasn't any additional cost. It was literally a phone call just to say that that's what I was going to be doing. I made sure I told them that it was a care-based service and that I would be taking clients out, and that was fine. So, car insurance, very important. The next thing, which is just as important really, is carers insurance. So, there are plenty of companies who specialise in this. I happen to use Fish Insurance. Luckily, I've never actually had to call upon their services, but as far as I know, they're very good. Costs about £90 a year, I think, to have carers insurance. It provides basically public indemnity insurance of up to, in my case, I think it's about 5 million. So some places do ask, I think, for 10 million. Some of the councils, if you're working for them, ask for 10 million. So it's worth thinking about. So that's carers insurance. Okay guys, I can see your eyelids are drooping. So I'm going to finish off now, but join me in the next video where I'm going to talk about Facebook, websites, things like running records, accounts, expenses and supervision. Real exciting stuff, but you need to know it. So join me next time and we'll talk more. Thank you.